just like Michelangelo into the blue, on heavenly wings. Cargo ham bones don't take off, no smoke, no mirror, no strings. I can't take off these dark shades, I can only say how it's too beautiful. Our town on TV, our town, there's you and me, upside down hanging out of an airplane.
Welcome to the segment of Our Town, and we're down to the new Our Neighbors Table building. It's the Jardis Taylor building, and we'll be dedicating the building. So let's go check it out.
Well, welcome everyone. It's on this beautiful fine day for this beautiful fine occasion. So I think we have a little bit of divine providence going on here. It's wonderful. Certainly my pleasure to be here at this at the groundbreaking of this fantastic facility. I want to thank Lyndsey for being the driving force behind Our Neighbors Table. And certainly your staff who work so hard to make things happen, and to all the volunteers who give so much of themselves. It is so indicative of who we are here in Amesbury. The volunteers really are part of the backbone and cornerstone of what makes this successful. And the generosity certainly of the communities that Our Neighbors Table serves, and a particular note is sort of the shining example of that generation, which is Greg Jardis. Greg, you are the shining example of who we are as Amesburyans, and who you are as an individual in your just giving and love of the community and of the cause. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. So with that, are you going to take over? Okay, so with that, I'd like to turn it over to Lyndsey Haight. Thank you.
Thank you. So this microphone doesn't amplify for you, as you've probably already noticed. So feel free to come in a little closer, because we're relying on our good old hearty Italian voices to project to everybody. So come on in. Just don't block Larry's camera there. He's broadcasting us live on Channel 12. We're big time now. I am like so excited today. Let me get this out of my system here. Today's not about me. Today is really about all of us here and the many faces who aren't here today. But I have to say, today marks the 6-year anniversary that I started in this beautiful community of Our Neighbors Table. So I didn't plan it this way, but I'm so glad that it's worked out. I started on February 1st of 2010 alongside Rosemary Werner, who is here, and she disappeared again. And a year later, my first son was born. So February 1st is a great day for me, and I'm really excited to celebrate this one in 2016 with all of you. I really want to stop and say thank you to all of our public officials who are standing here with me today, who really have helped lay the groundwork and continue the important work of Our Neighbors Table. I want to thank Representative Brad Hill, Representative Kelcourse, who's been an amazing advocate for Our Neighbors Table in just his short tenure. Representative Mira, Mayor Gray, thank you so much for welcoming and hosting us today. Senator O'Connor Ives, Mayor Holaday from Newburyport, and our board chair Todd McDonagh, and of course a man who needs no introduction, Greg Jardis. So we really are thankful to all of you. This truly is a public-private partnership. Hunger is a pervasive problem in our community, one that people probably don't recognize. 1 out of 16 people who lives in our service region is affected by food insecurity. 1 out of 5 seniors, 1 out of 8 children. It's present in every single one of the 12 communities that we serve, from Salisbury down to Boxford, from Newburyport to Groveland and Merrimack. But today we are here to celebrate because thanks to the enormous efforts and compassion, we can say that in our region, hunger is a problem that we can and will solve. Our Neighbors Table has been operating out of the small closets and basements of the Main Street Congregational Church for 23 years, but that has not stopped any of you. Every day you welcome new faces to our door. We bring in bigger and better food so that the people who can't afford to buy fresh fruits and vegetables or milk or meat or fish at the grocery store have access to that every single week. So I really am here today. We're here to celebrate this wonderful building and all that it brings, but we're really here to celebrate all of you. So thank you. I have to check my notes just real quick, sorry. A couple other key partners that I just want to acknowledge that are here today. The Greater Boston Food Bank, I see Jonathan there. Without their partnership, we could not bring in the volume or the quality of food that we have. Last year, we were able to secure more than $300,000 worth of food at no cost to us, thanks to our partnership with the Greater Boston Food Bank. Shaheen Brothers, I saw Peter somewhere. There, Peter's waving his hand back there. Shaheen Brothers has been a quiet but most critical partner with us in bringing fresh food to our community. So thank you so much, Peter, and to the entire team over at Shaheen Brothers. Our local growers from the elementary schools who are growing their community gardens like Cashman or Amesbury Elementary School or the Bresnahan in Newburyport, to Heron Pond, who is bringing us CSA shares throughout the winter, to Cider Hill, to all of the farms in Newbury and West Newbury who bring their crops to us throughout the growing season. We have distributed more than 100,000 pounds of produce that was grown within 15 miles of our food pantry. That's amazing. And none of this is really possible without those early visionaries who 24 years ago came together and said we can provide a place for people who don't have another table to sit at. So I want to just acknowledge, I know a couple of folks who are here in those first days are here. There are many others who are down south enjoying the sunshine or whose spirit is with us strong today. I want to acknowledge Rosie Warner. I want to acknowledge Kathy Gaudette, who was here 24 years ago at the very first meal. And I want to acknowledge our partners at the Main Street Congregational Church, who 24 years ago said, sure, we'll host a meal, 8 people, no big deal. And we have taken over their campus and they have accepted us and yielded to us gracefully. So thank you. Reverend McPherson, Stacey Lampson is here to represent them. With that, I am going to ask our public officials, Representative Kelcourse and Senator O'Connor Ives, I'd just like to invite you to come up and just say a few words, if you will.
Excellent. You know, the great thing about our Neighbors Table is there's just so many people here in this audience today that help out this wonderful organization. Many of you I see on a Wednesday or on a Friday, Wednesday serving the dinner, on Fridays helping unload the truck. It's just, there's an outpouring of support in this community. And again, I just can't thank a wonderful person like Greg Jardis and his family for all that they've done for our Neighbors Table. This is really terrific. You know, oftentimes I'm asked about what my favorite part of the job is. Well, I'll share with you a quick little story. We met with Lyndsey actually January, right around this time, and I said, what can we do to help the organization this, going into the budget this season? And she said, we stand to lose a line item in the budget for homeless veterans in the area. I was just amazed that there's over 100 families in not only Newburyport, Amesbury, and Salisbury, but throughout 8 other communities in this area as well, where there are homeless veterans. So Lyndsey said I needed $25,000, so I went to the leadership, we went to the administration. Not only did we get $25,000, but we got $55,000 to help out the homeless vets. And the telephone call that I received from Lyndsey in the summer was the best. This is the best part of the job. When she called and said, I thought you were just increasing it from $25,000 to $30,000. And I said, yeah, that's what we did. She goes, no, I got the $25,000. Not only did I get the $30,000, but we got the existing $25,000, so we got $55,000. This is great. Hurry up and get that money in the application. So this is terrific. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Greg. Thank you to his daughter, Nicole. And thank you to all the people here today that make this organization the great organization it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyndsey. And I think it's a real testament to the support our Neighbors Table has, the fact that everyone has come out to support this important groundbreaking day. And the catalyst for this, it's all about history. And it started about 23 years ago with the vision that Lyndsey talked about, and the real volunteerism and sacrifice and generosity. The fact that our Neighbors Table is now going to the next level because of the generosity of Greg and his family is phenomenal. And I think what that does is it calls everybody to the table to give a little bit more of their time and their resources and attention. We're all really busy, but we know that hunger in our community is absolutely unacceptable, whether it's our seniors, our veterans, or our children. And they're doing the work day in and day out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of demand, whether it's going to be for a hot meal or it's going to be for the food pantry, but we're here today and we're going to be here to support you along the way, because budgets ebb and they flow, but we know in order for this organization to continue to thrive, we all have to continue to be there. I see that we have our local banks who are always at the table for us, both the 5 Cent and the Institution for Savings. I see people throughout the entire Merrimack Valley here, and it's really inspiring to know that it takes a community to do this. We're going to solve this problem, and hopefully this model, this level of generosity can be replicated throughout the state. So congratulations.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming out. My name is Todd McDonagh, and over the last couple of years I've had the privilege and honor to serve as the board chair for our Neighbors Table. Like many of you, I've witnessed the dedication and resolve of our Neighbors Table as it is today. As Lyndsey shared, the reach of our ONT has far surpassed the expectations of those who laid the groundwork for us many, many years ago. But as we see every day, the need is continuing to grow. For anyone who has worked for the programs, I'm sure many of you here have, and anyone who has had to wait outside in the cold to shop in the pantry, you understand that the need for this new facility is well understood. 14 months ago, one man's generosity changed the conversation. After years of searching, and goodness knows that we had our ups and downs in trying to find various locations in the greater Amesbury area, we finally got to the point where we were able to find a spot. The board began staff to lay out a vision for what could happen. If our programs were no longer intended by makeshift facilities, if our pantry were finally accessible to everyone who needed it, if we had the refrigeration for the fresh foods our guests needed most. We laid out a vision that would continue to build in all of we learned over the years on our partnerships and the compassion and the dedication to all of our volunteers. And thankfully, we had a team who could create a home for this vision. Since last January, our Neighbors Table Construction Committee, chaired by John Masasawa, unfortunately John is not able to be with us this afternoon, has worked hand in hand with our architect, Greg Cowling of Merrimack Design. Greg, who's no longer is not able to be with us either, to renovate the empty storefronts into a well-equipped, efficient food pantry and distribution center for our Neighbors Tables program. I would like to thank the members of the construction committee, John, Greg, Dave, Clint, Lori, and Lyndsey for doing such an amazing job. when they invested their time into this, they realized that there was a very uphill battle. They've overcome many of those battles and to the point where we are today. To the engineers, the city departments, Tricia Carey at the Hollow Cafe, thank you all for working together with O&T to bring this vision to a reality. But truth be told, we would not be here without the one act 14 months ago. This structure that stands behind us today would not be the future home of our neighbor's table without the vision of one man, Mr. Greg Jardis. I was just saying to Greg, I'm not getting tired of thanking him. Today, we are thrilled to honor this man and the legacy that he carries forward and that will serve for so many years to come. Today, we thank you, Greg, and we officially dedicate this site of the Jardis Taylor Center for our neighbor's table. Greg?
Well, it's with a humble heart that I stand here today. Thank all of our officials, elected officials, for being here. Thanks for understanding the need that there are a lot of people who need help. Unfortunately, our country is becoming this tilted box of those with a lot of money and those who are suffering. And I would ask you to please keep your eyes on that and your hearts on that, and to help everybody who needs help. We all have different lots in life. Some people don't have the ability to walk. Some people can't see. Some people can't, for whatever reason, get out of their own way. But that's no reason to punish them. So I believe that we all have a place, and all of my friends and family here, I know everyone here is so giving in every way. And I admire you and I thank you for all of what you've given. I'm a lucky guy. My dad trusted in me to take over a hardware business. And furthering my luck, I have a bunch of young men who've worked with me for almost 40 years who've made this work. And I also have to stand here and tell you today that everybody says, well, why do we go to so many communities? Well, it's the same reason that I stand here, and I'm telling you that I've been so lucky to help make this gift, because every one of those 12 communities that we serve shops in my shop. So it's a question of giving back and sharing. I mean, just because somebody's 35 miles away and they're hungry, should we say no to them? I think my answer to that is no. So I just want to stand here and thank you all very much for all that you give. And I have a saying, if we all have a small piece of the puzzle, no matter who it is, every one of us, when we put all those puzzle pictures together, man, it's a beautiful scene. So thank you all for coming today, and thanks for the great weather, and I'd ask you to all try to give as much as you can to help us finish our project. If you know anybody who runs a foundation or who has charitable ideas, without us having to call and ask for money, which I don't know about you guys, but for me it's hard to ask other people for money. But again, I thank you and thanks for sharing, and I hope you all know that we're going to be serving an extra 200,000 meals almost immediately when we finish here. And I can't end without saying a real big thank you to John Massawa, who's not here today, and his wife Janice. John has been really instrumental in getting us to where we are today. Worked very close with Greg and with Woody Cammett. I've got to thank Woody for his donation of his time and of his talents to help get our engineering all done. And of course, Greg calling our architect's been very instrumental. But another big piece of what's going on right now is Jay McPartland and his company. Jay, we're so grateful for you for coming in here. Not only with such an incredible price to help us get going, but everything you're sort of throwing in the process. So I thank everyone for sharing with us today, and certainly I have to go back and thank all the board members of our Neighbors Table. Rosie, we all love you, and we know what you've done to make our organization work. And I hope to see you all around, and let's celebrate. Hopefully, Jay, we're going to be early, right? We're going to be early. All right. So we'll have a party with a few cocktails when we open the doors. But thank you, and I applaud all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, James. Thank you so much.
Just to say a few words on behalf of Newburyport. Lyndsey came to meet with me in early fall and shared with me about this wonderful project and how there is really an effort to expand the services to Newburyport. And I don't think that there's any question that we need your services and support also. I noticed John Feenan in the audience. They just completed our annual homeless study. It's staggering when you look at the children who are homeless, the families who are homeless, and what is going on in our greater community. And to have an organization like this where we can unite together to support families, veterans. I noticed our shared service veterans officer Kevin Hunt is here also. Nice to have you here. And you know, we are building stronger and stronger partnerships with our greater communities, and this is a wonderful way that we can support what's happening here in Amesbury and those who are in need in Newburyport. I'd like to recognize the Newburyport Bank. Jan Morris is here, and the Institution for Savings have already been mentioned. Thank you, Michael, for being here, as well as our Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Ann Ormond, for being here. Again, we will continue to build on these partnerships and support those in need in the greater Amesbury community. I really appreciate being invited today. Thank you.
So I just want to part with a few calls to action here. So today we have gathered here today to dedicate this building as the Jardis Taylor Center for our Neighbors Table, and we are so excited for the day in May when our operations will open and you're all back here for a ribbon cutting. But we still have work to do. When we laid out this plan, we were maybe a little naive. 5 years ago we thought, okay, we can go out, find a new home, retrofit it, get it up and running, $500,000. Well, unfortunately, in the last 2 years we've learned that that isn't quite the fact. Thank God for Greg for giving us this property so that we didn't have to raise the money to buy it. That alone has saved us more than $500,000. He also seeded our project with a significant financial investment. But we knew to get this building up and running and to get our programs ready to reach all those who are coming to our door, it was going to take us $1.1 million. Today, I can tell you that we have raised $775,000 towards that goal. I'd like to acknowledge those who have helped us lay the groundwork, and as I call you out, if you wouldn't mind coming up so you'll be up here for our photo. First, I'd like to, of course, thank Greg and his family, without whom we would not be here today. We'd still be out searching. I'd also like to thank Mr. Jones, Michael Jones from the Institution for Savings and their charitable foundation, the J Charitable Remainder Trust, the Amesbury Healthcare Charitable Trust. Bob, I see you here, and I don't know if any Lori, Todd, or Dave are here too. I want to thank the leadership of our Neighbors Table, the board of directors that has really stepped forward and combined has contributed close to $200,000 towards this campaign. Really a demonstration of their commitment to our mission. I'd like to thank the Newburyport 5 Cent Savings Bank for their contribution to the campaign and also for providing the construction financing as we're collecting our pledges over the next couple of years. To the McDonagh Family Foundation, and to the many others who have made their personal contributions. Again, the Greater Boston Food Bank, who's been part of it. Jonathan, come up here. I'd also like to ask all of my staff, Lori, Ann, Jim, Sue, Linda, come on up, Kristen. If I could, I would have every single volunteer here come up here, but then there'd be nobody left to take the pictures. Ooh, be careful. This is a construction site. This is exact. And Jay McPartland, can you please come up here as well?
Yes, sir.
We are, we have partner agencies across the North Shore who are doing this very same thing. They're raising twice as much money, and I'm going to gloat a little bit, and they're taking twice as long. And like everything else, we are breaking the mold here in northeastern Essex County. Our neighbors table is defying gravity once again, and we're going to get this project done within 18 months. And we are going to I know that we are going to reach that $1.1 million goal by the time we open in May, so that we will own this building outright, so that every dollar that we collect in donations from here on out goes directly to putting food on the table. We can't do that with all of you. We're going to take a picture here, but I invite you all to come and join us in the back. Trish Carey, the owner of the Hollow Cafe, has so generously offered to host our reception today. Come in, grab a brownie, a cup of coffee. You'll see some more details about the plan. But we are so excited and thrilled to have all of you by our side. And like I said, we can say with confidence that hunger in our region is a problem that we are going to solve. Thank you. She's a member of our group. Yeah. So we are. So with that, if you're not up here, you're welcome to go down to the cafe. And I would just ask members of the ONT board also to stay behind.
There you go. We have with us Amesbury's Mayor Ken Gray. How are you doing?
See you, Larry.
Thank you for coming on camera.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is a great example of the expansion in Amesbury lately, right?
It really is, especially in the social service area. We have a reputation deserved reputation for being a wonderful giving community, and what's going on today is just one more just shining example of that. What a fantastic community we have, from volunteers to folks like Greg who give so much of themselves, to certainly the community leaders and commercial leaders in town who have given so much to help make this project a success. So we're very proud of this today.
I want to thank you for all your work, because last show we went around, I got the mill yard is up to the lower falls there. Those are lights at night, and then down the lower mill yard we have a park, we have a hotel, the bridges are being done, we have lights up here. So since you've been aboard, we have a lot of things that have been completed.
There's a lot going on. Thank you for noticing all that.
Well, you're a hard worker, honestly.
We're working hard. We're trying to do a lot of things all at once, as much as we can, and the people seem to enjoy it and recognize it. So thanks for recognizing.
I think it's your personality too. I mean, you're in business, and then you like to go out and entrepreneur stuff, and so it's you that helps keep things together. Also.
Well, I think economic development is such a need in order to grow and help people that need help. In order to grow our social service sort of organizations and network and capability, we need a strong, robust economy. So the two go hand in hand. So I feel like I'm right at home in both those worlds.
I put you in a little spot. It's not bad. Do you think because Amesbury is such a blue-collar tradition that just continues into what we're doing today.
Absolutely. I think it may be that. I think it's a lot of everything. I don't think it's just blue collar. It's very diverse, actually, socioeconomically, which is something we should be very proud of. We have a really good thing going on here, and people of all different backgrounds and economic strata are able to work with each other to get things done.
It's a work ethics I was trying to bring out there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about demographics, but absolutely. The ethic, the work ethic in Amesbury is amazing.
To follow it through and get it done.
It's a very can-do community.
Oh, yes.
People are always stepping up, saying, "Hey, I want to do this," or "I want to improve that," or "I want to get involved in something else." It's really something we should all be proud of.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate the opportunity.
Ames Mayor Ken Gray. Thanks again. Thank you. Very pleased to have with me today Senator Katie O'Connor Ives.
Happy to be here.
Thank you very much. This has been a long time to get you on camera. I want to thank you for coming and just ask if you could give a few words about the event today.
Sure, I'm happy to. So we just completed the official groundbreaking ceremony for the new location of Our Neighbors Table, and there was an amazingly large turnout of volunteers, board members, residents, people that are supporting the organization all the time, and this is really a new level, a next level, and a lot of it was catalyzed because of the generosity of Greg. As we know, he's our friend in our community, Greg Jardis, and
he's so down to earth too. He's humble and he wants everybody to contribute at whatever they can contribute with.
Exactly. It's a special thing because what I think it does is it really causes a ripple effect in terms of community generosity, and unfortunately there is a need. There's hunger in Amesbury, there's hunger in surrounding communities, and services like Our Neighbors Table with their food pantry and serving hot meals consistently provides an invaluable service to people that don't have many options.
In a new building, you'll be able to store the truck, larger shelves, and it's one, I think there's 2 or 3 buildings they work out of now, but this will be one.
It'll be centrally located.
That's the word.
More convenient, and I really think it's going to thrive. So I'm here to celebrate and congratulate all the people that really made it happen. So congratulations to Lyndsey Haight, congratulations to Rosie Werner, who started this thing over 23 years ago, and a very, very special thank you to Greg.
Can I just also add that I have been so fortunate. I started the show back in 2007, and Rosemary really came aboard and helped me with meeting everybody in town. We probably did 4, 5, or 6 of those. And then when Lyndsey came, she's been very instrumental coming out and helping me with film her for Fill the Cruiser.
Okay.
And all those special events. But Amesbury, I was just telling the mayor that Amesbury is just extraordinary because the work ethics we have and trying to help out all levels of people.
Right.
I'd like to thank you because there's been 4 or 5 different projects that have been going on that it's just amazing the growth we have in this area.
It's true. I think what's really special is that we were able to, through the state legislature, for a number of years now, provide a boost in local funding for Our Neighbors Table. In previous years, it was about $30,000 a year, and that's going to happen again. And that money is also going to be able to help veterans because Our Neighbors Table serves veterans that are in need. So I think it's a situation where you might never know when something like this might impact you, and it's good to know that the service is here.
Thank you for your time, Senator.
Thank you for having me.
This is very, very nice. Maybe we can do it some other time.
Absolutely, I'd be glad to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to have with us right now the Executive Director of Our Neighbors Table, Lyndsey Haight. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Larry?
I'm just going
to see you.
Yep. Thank you for coming on camera.
Thank you for coming with your camera today.
And what did you think about the event? It's nice to have you, and nobody's here, it's just you and I.
I know. This is the way it should be, right? It was amazing. I can't believe how many people came out today. I can't believe Mother Nature, her cooperation. I think someone was telling me about 120, 150 people here today for the building dedication. I can't wait for the ribbon cutting and see how many people come.
And you gave a great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's easy to talk about these wonderful people and this wonderful community, so.
Well, we've been doing this together for a while now, but it seemed like the need is still there. It's still high, right? Higher than you'd like to have it anyways.
Larry, the need grows every day. 1 out of 16 people in our service region are counted as food insecure. So there are many others who are not being counted. Every year we bring in 400 to 500 new families who have never been to us before. This year we had a 30% increase in the number of kids who benefited from our food pantry program, particularly our summer lunch program. So the need is not going anywhere, unfortunately.
But to bring it to this building, it's all central now. When this is developed, it'll all be central, right? To truck, to storage, and people coming in.
Yes. This new Jardis Taylor Center for our neighbors table, I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled. You know, the volunteers have worked so hard to deliver the best programs possible in some of the most challenging conditions, in sleet, snow, rain, dire heat, frigid cold. Our guests are standing out waiting in line, sometimes up to an hour and a half to get food. And our volunteers are just as dedicated to make sure that that wait is not in vain. And now with this new spot, oh my gosh, we'll be able to focus our energy on putting food on the table, not just moving it from one spot to another over and over again. And you know, it's the vision of so many people and so many hours of hard work over the years, finally, you know, coming in line with a reality where we can serve people in a dignified way and to reflect the compassion that our neighbor's table really embodies.
Well, you articulate that well. I mean, through your whole body thing. It's cold, and it's cold right now, and she's going to go to a meal down here, but I just want to thank you. Is there anything else you want to say?
Well, I want to thank Trish Carey over at the Hollow Cafe, who has generously hosted our reception today. She's been a wonderful neighbor. You know, this whole property here is a construction zone, and the Hollow Cafe is open for business during construction, and we're so grateful to her and for her support today. And she's got a nice little spread for all of our guests today, so we're thankful. And we're thankful that everybody turned out today, thankful for the warmth and the sunshine, and looking forward to seeing everybody in May when we officially open these doors.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming on camera.
Thank you so much.
Is Executive Director from Our Neighbors Table, Lyndsey Haight. I'm pleased to be here with State Rep James Kelcourse. How are you today?
I'm doing terrific, Larry. How are you? Thank you for having me on the show.
You can take the microphone.
Okay.
What did you think about today's meeting?
I think this was excellent. It was terrific. It was a great, it just shows how much people in the community love the community of Amesbury and how much people like Greg Jardis have done for Amesbury for so many years. So I just want to give a little plug to Greg and his business, Amesbury Industrial. Everybody shop at Amesbury Industrial, spend lots of money there because it goes to wonderful programs like this, Our Neighbors Table.
Didn't you like the story also? He said that's why he could give away because so many people gave to his business.
Exactly.
That was an excellent story.
It was terrific.
And to bring people from all levels and be able to give what you can give.
He's just a wonderful man. I've known Greg since I was a young boy, and he's been always very good to me and generous and has given me terrific advice throughout my life. So I'm very grateful to the Jardis family and especially for their gift here today.
Two things I'd like to do for you, though, is thank you for all the hard work.
You.
I mean, you're all over the place. And
well, we love the job.
Even though this is Our Neighbors Table, we have the lights at the Powell River, right? And then we have a hotel coming in.
We do.
Lower Milliard's done. The bridge is being done. And you're involved with plenty of other projects I don't even know about. But, I mean, I just want to thank you for all your hard work and stuff.
Thank you, Larry. Well, it's people like you and it's people in Amesbury that make doing the job so great. We
just do your job, right? As Belichick would say.
No, it's not like we're going to work every day because we enjoy it so much. And I say we because I couldn't do it without my team of great folks, you know, that we have in the State House, my assistant Paul O'Brien from Newburyport. All these people make being state representative for Newburyport, Salisbury, and Amesbury is such a wonderful experience.
But you are all over the place.
We are. We work hard. We want
you're
folks.
all over the place.
It's a 7-day-a-week job with overtime. It's we put in overtime. We put in a lot of hours a day, but that's what the job of state representative, in our opinion, requires. It requires being there for people. There's a lot of people. There's 40,000 people that we represent between these three communities,
and they need Amesbury, Newburyport, Salisbury.
Amesbury, Newburyport, and Salisbury, and there's 40,000 in those communities.
Wow.
So we're one of 160 members of the House of Representatives at the State House. and we're here lobbying as much as we can for money for programs such as this. Homeless veterans, you heard me talk about a little bit.
This is excellent, yeah.
Yeah, 55,000. So that's something that we'll go for in the budget again this year. We're doing whatever we can, whether it be schools, parks, open space.
Do you have any other new projects you could let us know about?
Right now we're working on the budget, and the budget. So for the next several months, we'll be focused in on working hard to get as much as we possibly can.
Is it January, or is it?
Yep. So House 2. So the governor's budget just came out. Okay. So it's the budget, and his second budget. This last year was House 1. This is House 2. So they released the budget. Now it goes to House Ways and Means. So the chair of House Ways and Means, Representative Brian Dempsey out of Haverhill, and his staff will come out.
No, this is good people. This is good for the viewers.
Is excellent. So they'll come out with their version of the budget, what their recommendations are. Then it'll go to the House for approval. Then it'll go to the Senate Ways and Means, and then it'll go to the Senate.
How do you remember all this?
It's a multiple step process. There's about 9 steps in the process before it gets to the governor, and then if there's any legislative overrides, and before it's finally passed. But there's a lot of. It's a big budget. It's $39.55 billion, and we're arguing for as much of that. That budget for this district right here, Amesbury, Newburyport, and Salisbury.
Lyndsey is really happy,
she's terrific.
She was glowing when we did the interview. She was just like, and people like you, that go out and do that extra mile.
Yes.
You can have any job in your position and do it, but you can do it with enthusiasm and keep on, and you do it. That's why I just want to say thank you, because we were going to get together a long time. It's my bad, but I just want to make sure in person I tell you that.
Well, thank you very much, and it's people like you that make this job a wonderful job, and thank you to all of you in the audience who make this such a pleasurable experience. Can't thank you enough.
We get a selfie later on, right?
We'll get a selfie. Definitely will. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you, James.
And thank you, everybody in Amesbury. You as well.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
just like Michelangelo into the blue on heavenly wings. Cargo ham bones don't take off, no smoke, no mirror, no strings. I can't take off these dark shades, I can only say how. It's too beautiful, our town on TV, our town, there's you and me. Upside down, hanging out of an airplane.